Places in this world that when night falls, they stop being destinations for curious travelers and become gateways to pure, unshakable terror. The stories I'm about to tell you are not fictional legends. They've been recorded, witnessed, documented, and remain unsolved mysteries to this day. Brace yourself, because you're about to step into 5 of the most chilling, true horror stories from around the world. Story 1. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, Russia, 1959. The brutal winter of the Ural Mountains in the former Soviet Union. On January 27, 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set off on an expedition none of them knew would be their last. The weather was unforgiving, minus 25 degrees Celsius, winds slicing through the air. They pitched their tent on the slope of Kolatsyakl in the Mansi language. Its name means Mountain of the Dead. Weeks later, the search party found a scene burned into history. Their tent ripped open from the inside, barefoot tracks leading away into the snow. Just a few hundred meters away, 2 bodies lay beneath a cedar tree, barely dressed, with burnt hands as if they had tried to climb it. Scattered across various points, the remaining 7 were found, some with severe internal injuries, shattered ribs, crushed skulls, but no signs of external trauma. Fragments of their clothing carried unusually high levels of radiation. To this day, the cause remains a mystery. Was it an avalanche, a snowstorm, or something that drove them to flee in sheer panic? The Mansi people speak of a snowman guarding the mountains, while modern investigators lean towards secret weapons testing. But the truth may have been buried forever beneath the snow. Story 2. The Enfield Poltergeist, England, 1977 to 1979. 284 Green Street, Enfield, London. Autumn of 1977. Single mother Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children began hearing strange knocking sounds in their home at night. At first, Peggy thought it was just the pipes or the wind. But then, furniture began to move. One night, 11-year-old Janet screamed in terror. Peggy ran in to find Janet's bed sliding across the floor. Janet was thrown from the bed, as if pushed by invisible hands. Witnesses, including police officers, reported seeing chairs rocking, objects flying, and hearing a deep, raspy voice coming from Janet. But it wasn't the voice of a child. The voice claimed to be Bill Wilkins, a man who had died in that very house years before. The haunting lasted nearly 2 years, with over 30 witnesses. To this day, some believe it was an elaborate hoax, but the recordings, photographs, and testimony make the Enfield Poltergeist one of the most famous hauntings in England's history. Story 3. The Stanley Hotel, USA. Sitting in Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel looks like a luxurious mountain getaway, but for many, it's a place where polite and patient ghosts still roam the halls. Stephen King once stayed in room 217, and the experience inspired him to write The Shining. Guests have reported seeing a woman in a Victorian dress cleaning their rooms, hearing piano music echo through the empty lobby, and the sound of children running through the hallways late at night. Maintenance staff have told stories of a cold hand resting on their shoulder while working alone. Though still open to visitors, the Stanley Hotel has become a pilgrimage site for ghost hunters from all over the world. Story 4. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji lies a forest so dense that sunlight barely pierces its canopy. The Japanese call it Aokigahara, the Sea of Trees, but the world knows it as the Suicide Forest. Hundreds of suicides have taken place here. Narrow trails lead deep into the woods, often marked with ribbons tied to trees, a sign left by those who may change their mind and want to find their way back, though many ribbons end in empty, silent spaces. Visitors have reported an overwhelming sense of being watched, hearing footsteps behind them, only to turn and find no one there. Many believe that vengeful spirits wander the forest, seeking to lure new souls into eternal darkness. Story 5. Poveglia Island, Italy. Between Venice and Lido lies a small island locals refuse to visit, Poveglia. In the 18th century, it served as a quarantine station for plague victims. Tens of thousands were brought here and never returned. Their bodies were burned in massive pits. In the early 20th century, the island became a mental hospital. Patients spoke of cruel experiments by a sadistic doctor. Eventually, the doctor is said to have jumped or been pushed from the bell tower, dying instantly. Today, Poveglia is abandoned. Those brave enough to set foot there report hearing bells tolling, even though there are no bells left, and seeing shadowy figures moving in the broken windows. Venetians call it the Island of Cursed Souls. 5 stories, 5 places, and hundreds of questions left unanswered. Maybe you don't believe in ghosts, but remember, there are places in this world with an atmosphere so strange that the moment you step inside, you'll understand why stories like these exist. And if one day you find yourself on an empty road, a silent forest, or standing before an abandoned building, ask yourself, do I really have the courage to go in?